Buzz Goodbody, 1946 to 1975.
Who? Where? What? When? Why?
Born in 1946, Buzz Goodbody had seen every Shakespeare play by the age of 12. By 1969, Buzz became both the RSC's first female director and the youngest. In December 1973, Buzz wrote a manifesto putting forward the need for a permanent studio theatre in Stratford. She proposed that the new theatre should run on small production budgets, serve the local community, and challenge actors with new ways of working. In less than a few months, the other place was born. Here follows a brief outline of thinking so far. There is one significant omission: no mention of a budget. Not knowing what money is available, I've worked on the assumption that there will be very little. Buzz wanted everyone to enjoy Shakespeare and worked relentlessly to create theatre that was inspiring and accessible. Her 1975 production of Hamlet made theatre history. The characters were believable and compelling. Many people thought Buzz had found the essence of the play, and some critics ranked it one of the most significant interpretations of the century. In 1970, Buzz Goodbody made her position clear. I don't think there's any essential difference between a woman and a bloke when it comes to directing. I certainly don't approach people differently just because I'm a bird.
Buzz Goodbody directs Sir Ben Kingsley in her 1975 other place production for the RSC. Back then, Sir Ben was simply, "Hi, Ben." The then Mr. Kingsley plays Hamlet. Griffith Jones, ghost of Hamlet's father, Mikhail Lambert, Gertrude, Andre Van Giesegem, Polonius, Yvonne Nicholson, Ophelia, Stuart Wilson Laertes, Sidney Livingston Horatio, Bob Peck the Gravedigger and first player, Terence Wilton, Osric, Marcellus and Gravedigger, Gareth Armstrong, Rosencrantz, Charles Dance, Fortinbras, and George Baker Claudius. I play Guildenstern. George Baker arrives at the RSC for the first time from the world of film and television, a star who has, he says to us young'uns in the bar, seduced many a starlet. Among them, he tells us young'uns in the bar, the one and only B.B. In his 40s, he's handsome, debonair, with a clipped English accent and a rapid delivery of the Shakespearean text, which, you will be relieved to know, I will not be attempting to imitate. All my offence is rank, smells to heaven. It hath the primal elder's curse upon't, a brother's murder. George is wary of the ways of young directors. Buzz is a young woman of 29, lone female voice in the male-dominated Royal Shakespeare establishment of the time. But us young'uns love her and lap up every word she utters, every acting exercise she suggests, every improvisation that she initiates. George sits aloof, his cynicism simmering. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heaven to wash it white as snow? Early in rehearsal, George is asked by Buzz to demonstrate the fury of Claudius. George kindly obliges. Chairs are flung from one end of the rehearsal room to the other, and then all the way back again. Mr. Baker clearly demonstrating a fury, but perhaps of another and entirely personal nature. A wretched state, a bosom black as death. May one be pardoned and retain the offence? Despite George's contempt, his generosity and encouragement to younger actors is abundant. His innate instinctive behavior is to warn and protect us. This becomes evident when Buzz suggests the improvisation to end all improvisations, running the gravedigger's scene and Ophelia's funeral scene together in Holy Trinity graveyard on consecrated ground. It does not go well, and it does not go down well. Buzz is not happy, with some justification, with what she sees of giggling young actors at the graveyard gates as our lack of commitment. George sees red at this accusation and, whirling away from the scene of the crime, strides up and down the gravel pathway beside the swollen River Avon, gesticulating wildly, hurling again and again and again at our stunned director, "If you look for death, you'll find it. If you look for death, you'll find it. If you look for death, you'll find it." 2 weeks later, we recalled with horror George's ominous words, when after the press night of her groundbreaking production of Hamlet, Buzz Goodbody travels home, climbs into bed, puts pen to paper, and takes her own life. Flights of angels, sing thee to thy rest. If she'd lived, she'd be my age now.
Three days after Hamlet opened, on Friday the 11th of April, 1975, Buzz took her own life. The company was in shock. Obituaries talked of the impact of her work and the loss of a revolutionary director whose values and ideas had been vital to the evolution of the company. In an RSC newsletter, artistic director Trevor Nunn wrote about Buzz's vision. The other place had started to be all the things she wanted. Now we must further her work without ever losing sight of her principles, her anger, and her love.